Namaskar, Adab, S.R.A. I'm your host or host Akshay and welcome to the Origin Show. Knowledge starts here. Brought to you by Epic Life S.R.A. Before we're going to start this video, I want to tell you to my new viewers who are going to come and watch these videos but they're not subscribing the channel. I request you to please watch the video, subscribe your channel, Epic Life S.R.A. Please subscribe it. And you're also wondering what is the Origin Show? What is the motive of the Origin Show? The Origin Show has a one motive, that is to share the knowledge and talk about our career and opportunities in a very simple way. So I request you to please share this video to all your family and friends and create your own The Origin Show army. Yes, I request you to please share this video and create your own The Origin Show army. Today, as I promised, that we're going to talk about the science, and we have a special guest who is a former director of ISRO, whose name is Dr. Venkitakrishnan. In this podcast, we're going to talk about the future of rockets, reusable rockets, cryogenic rockets, and future of ISRO. Dr. Venkitakrishnan has worked in different kind of mission, like Mission Mangal. I'm not going to tell whole things what we have discussed in this podcast. So I request you please watch the full video, and I believe this video will help to enhance your knowledge, and I believe this video will help to change your perspective towards the ISRO. So I request you to please watch the full video. We'll be come back after a short intro.
Evening. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine. Good evening.
Thank you, sir, for giving your valuable time, sir, and coming on this platform and sharing your views. So before we start, I have a small question, sir. Please introduce yourself to our audience so they can get more about you and your experience. Then we take it forward for the further questions, sir.
I'm Dr. Venkitakrishnan, retired from ISRO as Director Capacity Building Program Office. Prior to that, I was Associate Director of S.R.A Space Center and Director of ISRO Propulsion Complex, Mahendragiri. Prior to that, I was in Deputy Director of, again, VSSC, S.R.A Space Center, and Deputy Director of Liquid Propulsion System Center. In fact, I have worked in almost all centers of rocket centers of ISRO, and joined ISRO in 1983 through campus recruitment. Studied in, I belong to Trichure, middle of Kerala, and I was campus recruited and joined in 83. And I took my MTech and PhD during my career in ISRO from IIT Madras.
Okay,
and,
sir.
Retired in 2021 May during the COVID
Okay,
period.
sir.
I was given one more year as Satish Dhawan, Professor Satish Dhawan scientist in ISRO. Now I am fully retired from ISRO and working
Okay,
in
sir.
various capacities to serve the nation again.
Okay, sir. So, sir, before we go further, I just want to know what you were handling while working with the ISRO. What was your expertise in that in ISRO? Which segment, sir? So that our audience get more about it.
My fascination and passion was manufacturing from the very beginning in the college days itself. So I was associated with rocket manufacturing.
Okay, sir.
Almost all, whatever you see in the rocket, top to bottom, I had my hand in that in various capacities, right from a grade engineer reporting to somebody, trained under somebody, but that time also I was working on the rocket fabrication and manufacturing and materials also, exotic alloys, making different special alloys, what is required for rocketry, for different functions requirements. It was a very enjoyable journey, challenging, and the requirements were too much. Actually, we could not, even now also, if you see, a lot of things are still to be solved, but it continues,
Yes,
the
sir.
journey continues, a lot of other people continuing. So I had been in rocket manufacturing, including cryogenic engine, your LAM engine for your Mars mission, working in liquid engines and rocket motor cases, tight load structures,
Yes, sir.
propellant tank, actuators, whatever you say in the round vehicle, I had a hand in that in various capacities.
Okay, sir. Now, sir, I have one question. I have two, three questions in this which you have just now mentioned. So you worked in the Mars mission, and you talk about the like cryogenic engine and different type of engines which we have right now in India. So for like, I have a question like as a layman, as like common citizen of India. So what is the difference between the cryogenic engine and what technology we have in the past, so that our common man can understand in a very layman way?
See, rocket engine works like that. No, so for solid motors, which is required to generate a large thrust in the liftoff. Normally, we have solid thrusters in the beginning of the rocket launch or rocket ascent stage, and to deliver large thrust actually. But controls are very less. It's a solid stages because once it starts burning, now we don't have much control on the burn rate. It's very constant, and we have only flex nozzle control or fin tip control. No, vectoring the thrust what is available on the bottom, vectoring it and making it slightly less or more. We can't make it more or less and sideways and all vectoring it. Is the only way we can control it. But not much of control is required in the bottom stages because we have to just go up and escape from the Earth's gravitational field. The escape velocity 7 kilometers per second. So after that, you wanted to get more and more control over to precise injecting of the satellite into the orbit. So you go to liquid stages in the second stages where more controllability is there with actuators and other things, flow rates of fuel, N2H, N2H and N2O for UDMH, fuel and oxidizer. You have got flow rate control, mixer rate control, and mixer ratio control, everything. And combustion ratio control, thrust control, everything is possible with valves and other things. But liquid always flow to the bottom, downwards only because of gravity. So you have a limitation. But if it is gas, actually you can control it in any direction.
Yes,
So,
sir.
but really, if you want to have gas on the top, no, the volume will be too much large. Actually, too much large. You can't. You go out of the boundaries of the your launch vehicle design. It will be too much diameter and all. So you have to store that gas in the liquid form. So if you
Okay,
want to
sir.
store gas in the liquid form, you have to go below the sub-zero temperature and cryogenic temperatures. That's what cryogenic technology. So you store the
So,
liquid oxygen and hydrogen liquid form, right? Liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen at sub-zero temperatures, 20 Kelvin and 80 Kelvin. And through a pump, actually, again, deliver it and preheat it and make it again gas stage through the. We have preheating it when the combustion is when the burning is happening through the divergent. We have got double channeled divergent were in a sandwich type construction where in the annular wall, because the sandwich wall through that our liquid hydrogen flows and get preheated before entering the combustion chamber. It becomes again
okay, sir.
gas and that is called cryogenic technology. It's a very, very complex technology to have the material the storage and all in the temperature and keeping in the temperature, making it gas and again burn. And you have more controllability and accurate injections at the possible at the highest stage where the real your satellite injection is taken right into orbit. So that's why we are able to get even in Chandrayaan. You can see we got exceedingly large, very good second decimal injection accuracy. It was there in public
Okay.
domain.
So, sir, do you believe this cryogenic engine will help us to reach Mars also in future? Like we are developing in stage like in not only ISRO, NASA, and any other space organization owned by the governments. So, do you think this cryogenic technology will help as a human to reach all these locations in a very easy way?
Not that we are going in a step by step method. Actually, I won't say that this technology will help you. And even last first Chandrayaan mission was through a PSLV. So
Okay.
payload goes up. Actually, we have to go for a larger tonnage carrying, and also that's why we have gone this time 3.9 tons. We can't carry 3.9 tons by PSLV, so we have gone for cryogenic stage. It all depends upon how much payload you can want to carry. Cryogenic stage doesn't really give you the capacity to go to moon or anything. The actual going to moon and all done by apogee boost motor and all. You can see that kind of LAM engine firing and all going on now also, by orbit racing and all going on. That through small thrusters and all. we don't use rocket to go to moon directly. We will go to an orbit, earthbound orbit. You have seen that we are just put in that orbit, and after that, no, the orbit racing is going through satellite thrusters firing, and orbit racing and going to the moon. So if you really want to go to with the carry people and all to moon and all, you should be having better thrusters in satellite and all, which can take more payload. One or two people also going in. That means again another 250 kgs will go up. So that
Yes, sir.
thrusters and all really should be good. And it's not the question of landing there alone. They have to be brought back safely also. So you should have fuel for that. Again launching from there with the help of these astronauts who are already there. They have to be trained for that to operation the launch and all this, and to come back to Earth safely and safe land somewhere in land or sea through parachute or
Yes,
anything.
sir.
All these things are again technologies to be proven, and these are all technologies of future actually for youngsters to demonstrate and take the ISRO far ahead.
So, sir, I have a one question in this. Like, as like we when we were in the college, we used to see if you want to travel in the future, you have to move fast like a speed of light. Do you think uh, as a scientist, we soon will going to able to get that technology involved as a human being? Like there's like NASA is doing so much of research to get a speed of light. So do you think do we get like this type of rocket also in the future? According to you, just wanted to know your point of view on this thing, sir.
The main function of the rocket is to get out of the gravitational field. Otherwise, whatever you throw will come back again to Earth again because of gravity. So we want to escape from the gravitational field. So 7 kilometers per second is the escape velocity we should impart. So anything more than that, what you get actually is good actually, but we should see that exactly once you have the velocity high, you have to, if you want to really go near to the moon or near to any other planet, after getting into the planet, we have to break it also. So to break
Yes,
and
sir.
then get into that particular orbit also. So all these things are mathematics actually. Just going to higher velocity will not help. So what velocity you want, we need to calculate. That much only we require. We don't require the light velocity or anything like that. We want whatever velocity, what we delta v or whatever which I call the velocity to be part of the launch vehicle. That much what we want is through calculation what we have to achieve. So,
Okay,
but
sir.
going to other orbits definitely is not rocket. I told you very clearly. It's all on satellites or the payload being fired, and it is going through the inertial forces. That much of force may not be required though to go through that kind of a translunar orbit or anything like that. But between Earth and Moon, it is only minimum required energy path, the orbit what we are following. After that, again you have to brake to capture the reverse thrusters. You have to fire to capture the other satellite or interplanetary orbit.
Okay, sir. So now as you said, you have also worked in the Mission Mangal. So what was your experience while working in the Mission Mangal? So could you please help us with the experience that our audience can and able to know and get more motivation from that story? Because everyone saw the Mission Mangal movie and they also read the articles also. Just wanted to know as a scientist when you were working with that group, when you were hardworking and fortunately we got that success in that Mission Mangal. So just wanted to know your experience on this so that the young audience of our viewer can more get experience from this thing as a new learning.
See, a satellite launch vehicle per se, if you ask me in Mangalyaan, what is the difference? I won't say that much of difference was not there because again, this payload is being put into orbit. So up to putting it clearly into the orbit, the launch vehicle has to behave properly, and no, that also very important element of your total launch. So to that extent, see the entire activities of different activities, what is different from any other mission comes only when the payload is put into orbit. From there, taking the payload to the Mars to 300 plus days.
Yes, sir.
It's now 42 days here now. That is 300 plus days. Again, putting on the engine after 300 days. And apply the brakes and capture the Martian orbit and going down the orbit over Mars again slowly. There's no landing actually. It's going down to Mars. More mission,
Yes, sir.
Mangalyaan, Mars orbital mission actually. So the orbit we have put around the Mars to take the photographs of Mars and other data. recording the atmosphere and the surface terrains and everything. So there the critical technology is the LAM engine, which was fired after 300 days. Even on auto rickshaw, if you really want to start, you have to put the handle 3-4 times here. So after
Okay.
365 days, this Kumbhakarna, after a long sleep, has to be suddenly, in one kick, and 40 minutes it take from the signal to go from Earth to that particular orbiter which is going on. So the thrusters to be fired, the retro thrusters to fire and applied brakes exactly on the same time. If you miss a minute, it'll go beyond that orbit and you can't capture the Martian orbit. So
Yes.
exactly the LAM engine which we supplied our group, our entity with the group which I was the leader actually, the liquid apogee
Yes, sir.
motor worked exactly. We had tested exactly for 300 days in Mahendragiri and given, because it's the same time duration normally we test and give liquid engines, a hot test or whatever you call it. So that
Yes,
was
sir.
already tested and again delivered. So it has behaved. If it is not firing in the first command, the entire mission could have been a single point failure. So all these things give satisfaction that it's not a different LAM engine. We are going same LAM engine only, but we have perfected it so that the reliability is much more than on one single command. It fires without any problem. So after you are not never done it, because we normally fire it immediately once you launch, in 16 minutes or so. After 300 days,
Yes, sir.
again, if you really fire going through the orbit, and again it should fire, it should ignite and work on one single command on same time exactly without passing through the orbit and capturing the orbit. It was a tension actually, and that has behaved properly.
Mhm.
It was one of the very very glad moments for all of us in the team ISRO.
This a proud. It is a proud moment for us also as being Indian that ISRO has showed this much of a good, I can say, success mission in the world right now. And sir, now I have a question, sir. What is the life of a scientist, and what inspire you to become a scientist, sir? So that our audience can get more inspiring experience from your side, and they can implement in their life also.
My case, if you say I am an incidental scientist, actually, because those days, 40 years back and all, no, we can't say what we should become and all. We were not trained to do things so or anything. Now today's generation, they know exactly. They got more revenue. They can think in different directions. They want what they want to become. They can aspire for that and get it also. So if you ask me how I became a scientist, it was so incidental actually. I just want to get into manufacturing field, and I got
Okay.
rocket manufacturing, which is very very interesting than any automobile or any other manufacturing. With a lot of whatever technology, whatever you learned in the textbook, everything 100% we have been translated. Actually, we have been able to. Not many people get that chance to really implement whatever you learned in the textbooks. Some exotic manufacturing process and all, like non-conventional machining and all, we never used to do, actually never used to actually implement or practice it in the shop floor. But here, whatever you say, we have done, we have been able to practice it in, because it's all required to manufacture the critical parts of ISRO, like CNC machining, electro discharge machining, spark corrosion machining, chemical milling. You tell anything, whatever you tell, no, it's very very not so common in any other industries. We are used almost all, and it was really an interesting journey. So to me, it's an incidental thing. If you ask me tomorrow, how do you want to become a scientist and all, really, see, scientist per se, if you ask me in the broad sense,
Yes, sir.
those who are doing science research only scientists, that's the kind of conventional norms or kind of definition what they're having in mind. To me, if you ask me, I have broader outlook and broader sense. Anybody who does research in any field is called a scientist for me. Even if in food, if
Okay.
you do some kind of research, in music, if you do some scientific, I will say you are a researcher. I won't say you're a scientist, but when you do research on science, you are called a scientist actually. But there are two things. One is art form and one science form actually. And then art and all creativity is more important actually. Science and all phenomena and other things, postulates and phenomena and some kind of a definitions and all. So that kind of a division is available. So whenever you do some kind of a research on the science field, you are called scientist. So a scientist, if you see, is not a scientist, is living is a scientist. It is not that 9 to 5 scientist. You can't be a 9 to 5 scientist. Scientist observes everything, whatever he's seeing. You have got an analytical capacity. You always think in logical terms, whatever you observe. So it's a continuous journey. You can't have a scientist switch on by 9 o'clock and switch off by 5 o'clock in the morning, evening, like any other job. So you continue to be a scientist throughout your life, even after retirement. So and that is what the scientist to me means, and that's what I understood through my journey as a scientist in ISRO. This kind of a feeling I was not having midway. If you ask me this question, I won't be able to answer like this, because when I completed the journey, I understood exactly what is a scientist. So this, I think, I was able to give you a kind of a definition in a crude way, or not in a crude way, or in a more lucid or clear way for people to understand what we normally call a scientist.
Okay, sir. Sir, now I have a two question in this. As you said, you're working since more than, I think, since 1980 onwards, you start working with the ISRO. So during that time, people was not like just nowadays. If you go and ask any student in the college, in the school, what is ISRO? They know, okay, ISRO it is. That time, that much coverage was not there towards the ISRO. So how they motivated you to do your work in a proper way and give you 100%, and to become because on that time there was no motivation coming out from the society towards the ISRO or DRDO or any research organization in India. So on that time, how you make yourself motivated? Okay, let me serve to the country. Let me give my 100% and get everything whatever it takes. So how you get motivated on that during that time while working with the ISRO from the starting stage, sir?
No, as you told very clearly, the starting stage, the kind of image what ISRO is having right now was not the public image, and the kind of public motivation coming from the public, as whatever, no, your aspiration, your this one, no, admiration from the public, you call, not admiration, you call. So, but one important thing what ISRO was having those days, the kind of leaders, if you take like Vikram Sarabhai, Sadi is the one, no, a bunch of leaders whom they recruited long back. You may not be knowing outside, but internally they are also very famous, like S.C. Gupta,
Who,
Srinivasan.
sir?
S.C. Gupta was there, Srinivasan, Gavarikar, a lot of directors of ISRO in all those days. You ask me, Colonel Pant, Arva Mudan, very, 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 very tall figures actually. If you really in thinking as well as in dedication, and including Abdul Kalam, Dr. Abdul Kalam was there in the beginning of SLV and all. So if you take the array of leaders what we had in the beginning, the kind of class of people who are leading us, they were the source of inspiration for us in the beginning, really motivating us to do the thing. Come on, we'll do it. We'll come, because even it take longer time to gestation period to mature these kind of technologies. You see, SLV first SLV failed, second SLV failed, third SLV only has flown, two ASLVs failed, third SLV ASLV has flown, one PSLV failed, second PSLV also has gone. GSLV, of course, with the Russian technology also, we could not fly in the first GSLV and all. But when it came to Mark 3, we had the assimilated knowledge and experience of all these failures and launch vehicle technology. The Mark 3 has been flying from the first word go without failure, from the first mission to this mission, including Chandrayaan. All were 100% successful. So if you see that way, but rocket technology is extremely difficult. You see, a small rocket like SSLV put us into trouble in the first two missions. First mission, and second mission we corrected everything and it's gone. So rocket is one technology where any new rocket, if you make design, the first mission is very crucial and critical. Now also, in the days to come, also in future, also it will be like that, because a lot of
Okay, sir.
parameters has to work together to make a mission successful.
Okay, sir. So as you said, you have worked with Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and Vikram Sarabhai ji also. So how was your experience with them, and what your point of view like in terms of learning with them, because they are the great you can say idol in India, not only in ISRO. If you go to any colleges also, they also take as a great idol. So people are still learning from them whatever they have done in their life. So what you have experienced with them while working with them in the past?
I have not worked with along with Vikram Sarabhai. He has passed away long back before I joined this role. I joined in '83 only,
Okay,
because he has passed away
okay, sir.
in 70s and all. But even with Abdul Kalam ji also, I have not worked in ISRO actually. By the time I joined,
Okay.
he has completed SLV and he has left to DRDO. But I had a opportunity to work with him in DRDO because ISRO was supplying some of these systems and all for Agni those days and also those days. So whatever, no, some technology transfer and all these things. So I had a no opportunity to work with him. So 1 to 2 to 3 years as project manager of something, what some systems to be supplied to deputy project manager, some systems to be supplied to DRDO those days. I used to meet him whenever I go to Hyderabad and all. I had a cross association. We have been supplying the first stage motor that the corporation and Fintic control all these things. And it was after that, now they have become independent and they have started having their own design and their own other systems and all. In the beginning, there was a collaboration, a small, some kind of a cooperation between these two to see that things are leapfrogging and fast moving. So that time I had an interaction with him for 2 to 3 years in the capacity. I was from
Okay.
ISRO, DRDO. But that was a good interaction actually. Personal interactions were there many times and talked to him personally also. And he was remembering me also for quite a long time with that, through that. He has got a enormous capacity of remembering people whomever he meets. So he was a different personality altogether. So that way he was remembering me also in all through. And I had interaction with him throughout after his retirement, after he's become president, and after coming out also.
Oh,
I, whenever I
okay.
met him, he used to talk to me. Not that otherwise. Whenever I meet him in occasions, wherever some functions and all, he used to talk to me. He used to, exchange pleasantries with me. So he was a different personality altogether. That kind of a personality comes only once in a while. So simple,
Yes, sir.
moving with people. More importantly, more than his knowledge and technological excellence or whatever I call, his simplicity and as a human and interacting with people and human man management and human management was his more of a more asset for him than anything else as an excellent.
Yes, sir. So now I have just one a small, you can say, like very childish question I'm going to ask. So suppose God has given you one chance to take up one skill from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam in your life. Which skill you want to take from him?
I would like to say that you have to be more humane and simple as possible. No, he always uses simple language to convey, communicate. You might have seen him talking like a kid to the audience. No,
Yeah.
it's
Yes,
extremely
sir.
difficult
Yes, sir.
to come down to that level and talk with, interact with people. To coming to their down to their level and talking, and he enjoys with them actually. Whatever he delivers, no, speaks or anything, he enjoy the work and do it. And through till last moment you can see that he was working and when he was delivering a lecture only he collapsed. So these kind of
Hmm.
is one thing which continuously working and thinking of something and dreaming of something at any age is one thing, and the kind of energy what he derives out of his dreams is one factor. I would like to say that all any one of the youngsters should imbibe from him, including me.
Yeah, that's true, sir. Uh, so now I have a question, sir. How to become a scientist in ISRO? So that just give us the pathway so that our audience who want to become a scientist, they can learn from you and they can implement in their life also.
There are a lot of ways. One is that today to become a scientist, space scientist, you don't have to be in ISRO itself, because ISRO the last couple of years has opened out and given a lot of avenues to work for space from outside ISRO also. Because it's not quite impossible to recruit the number of aspirants whoever want to work in ISRO. That many number of aspirants, that much of openings are not there in ISRO. We have totally around 18,000 vacancies of all centers put together. So if you really want, but the aspirants are more nowadays. So in one way, whatever we have done is a good thing to the younger generation actually. They can work for ISRO from outside also. Need not be in ISRO. They can work in space field also. So through in space and other things, we opened out and this sort of facilities you can use from outside also for nominal fees and all. The capex, what is required to capital expenditure, what is required to establish the kind of facilities what we established, too huge. A person cannot afford to do so. So, but you can now for a nominal cost, if you really want to develop something outside, you can use the facilities of ISRO for developing your own components and rockets. So all these things are possible today. To become a space scientist, I won't say an ISRO scientist. Space scientist is much more opportunities are there for you to start. We can start a startup from outside and get hand holding from ISRO. All are possible, and that way we can earn more revenue and more of a space economy also. So it's a kind of a win-win situation. More people, more aspirants can be accommodated, more of economy can be generated, more funding can be got from ISRO, and ISRO also would like to concentrate on R&D and research activities rather than commercialization of launch vehicles and other things. We are also even SSLV, you can see small satellite launch vehicle. We are on the right from the word go. We are going out for manufacturing. We are not making. We are only doing the development flight and giving the technology transfer and asking the people to make it and launch it outside. And we are going to have one more launch pad in Kulashegarapatam down south of near Tuticorin down south of Sriharikota. So that also will be available for small satellite launch vehicle launching. So all these things now are more avenues available. And if you want to get into ISRO, you have to really see the website and apply for ICRB openings and all. They tried the test and undergo the interview, and you will be placed. And your whatever specialization you are taking, like control systems or mechanical or manufacturing or material science or physics or anything, depending upon your specialization, the openings will be announced. You have to undergo a test, 100 marks, some objective test, and a number of people will be called for interview according to the vacancy available. The interview will be up from fundamentals and all these things. We'll not be calling, asking you some high level questions and all. So once you do that, I think it's a very transparent process, and you'll be in ISRO. And once you are entering ISRO, your life starts as a kind of a first entrant to ISRO. Slowly, you'll be transformed into a scientist in the years to come without your knowledge, because automatically when you start interacting with the people in ISRO, you don't know the kind of transformation what is really happening to you. The way in which you see me today was not the person who was entered ISRO. So it's a kind of continuous transformation happening, and your thinking style will be different. Your reviewing things will be different. Your knowledge level will be different. Updation of knowledge, everyday learning will be there through review systems and interactions and other things. There's no hierarchy in ISRO. You can interact with anybody. Even German ISRO is so simple.
Okay.
Any new entrant also can go and meet him and interact with him. So these are the things which really makes ISRO different from other organizations. And I won't say that since you work in science and continuous research, you are called a scientist. Otherwise, no, it's a kind of again a job only. It's not that. But the only thing is, it is not a job which is 9 to 5, as I told earlier. It is a continuous job. It's a life of a scientist, not really a job.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you for answering that question, sir. Now I have a question, sir, for the future. So, what do you think? What's the point of view? What is the future of ISRO in India?
ISRO per se will be concentrating more on research missions, interplanetary missions, and developing of new vehicles and other things, capacities and other things from here onwards. You can see that now Gaganyaan is coming up, human space,
Yes,
human
sir.
space. Chandrayaan has gone right now. Mangalyaan 2 will be there after some time. So
Yes, sir.
soft landing once it takes place, it's interplanetary. It's a kind of soft landing taking place in another satellite. Same technology is useful for reaching. You have reached already Mars, so same technology will be useful for landing in Mars also tomorrow. Because once you capture the interplanetary that planet orbit, near to 100 kilometers or so, the landing technology is same actually there also. So all this once soft landing is mastered, then slowly there is Gaganyaan happening, humans sending to mission to space. You can mix up things. You can put people on. So all these things are logical, taking forward step by step, taking forward possible. So ISRO will be concentrating on all these things, like in some space stations specifically for ISRO, maybe also contemplated in future. Because there are logical things what is happening, docking and taking people to that particular space station, coming back again, and doing some microgravity experiments in the space stations of ISRO. What really Indian scientists want. So we can the microgravity is one field which every scientist in biology field or chemistry or any scientist is involved, because without gravity doing anything is totally different. Whatever you do is totally different. So every scientist in working in any domain or any area will be interested in doing some microgravity experiments, including germination of seeds, cells mutation, biology, medical, healing of your other things, pharmaceutical, your thing, alloy making, everything will be totally different in the absence of gravity. So all these things, our space platform will give an opportunity for other scientists also to go and work. So you are opening a big opportunity for all the other people also to work in gravity, microgravity, environment, and a lot of things are very interesting. Things are really waiting once you achieve this status of some kind of space station, going, docking, and coming back. It's not that far away. Logically, we are one by one, step by step, we are going ahead to achieve that in the near future. Now, in the commercial launch vehicles like GSLV Mark II, Mark III, and PSLV, which is commercialized, the development flights are over, will be handed over to industry for large scale making. And still, no space in India Limited is available as a public sector, which will take up the commercial launches for other foreign launches also, for Indian launches also. And satellite making also can start through technology transfer can go out. So the routine work will be given out to industry. Work there also space work only, but will be generate more economy. So that money also will be available for ISRO for to again put back and to research again. So the revenue generated through all these sources will really give more revenue and more budget for ISRO, we hope, in the years to come. That is the idea of doing all these things.
So now, sir, I have one question. So as we're talking about, we're going to be on Moon and Mars soon. So I was reading an article from the SpaceX that Mr. Elon Musk has said soon we as a human will going to live in on Mars or on Moon. So what's your thought on that? And also in ISRO has recently last month I think they just done the first successful test on reusable rockets. So, what do you think? How these things happening in right now, and how is going to affect our future in terms of discoveries and technologies in India or outside the India also?
See, reusable launch vehicles are one fascinating thing to really bring down the cost of access to space. Because expendable launch vehicles is a one-time rocket. Actually, the rocket doesn't come back. It's only a weapon to launch the satellite onto the orbit precisely. After that, it is a waste. Actually, it's a wastage, and around 200 crores, 250 to 200 crores, or 250 crores in each launch vehicle we are spending to see that satellite being launched. Once you are mastering the reusable launch vehicle, you can again refurbish and reuse the vehicle for further launching. Not the full rocket per se, definitely, but at least a major part of it. So reusable is not fully reusable. A major part of it can be reusable. So that way we'll bring down the cost like anything. We are now gone to the ascent phase and proven the ascent phase. In the controlled descent phase we have done earlier. Now we have got descent phase also proven in the initial period of this particular year in April or so. So and then once we master that, now slowly we can use that vehicle to launch satellites and all for LEO orbit, low Earth orbit and all. So the cost will come down like anything, and it will really fetch more of other international launches from outside also, because the cost now itself is very economical for other countries to come. That's why India is attracting more of foreign launches now also. This is one thing, one aspect of that. Second aspect of that, as you asked, actually, life in Mars and all. Because why Mars? Why not Jupiter? Why not Venus and all? Why Mars? We have always taken satellite. Of course, Moon is satellite very near to Earth. Any technology proving will be always done with the Moon, because it is very near to Earth. Expenditure to prove in technology will be
Yes, sir.
less. But once you to prove the technology, why Mars? Why not Venus? Why not Jupiter? If you ask me, Mars is one planet where scientists believe that evolution scientists believe that there was existence of life in Mars long back. If at all the life was there, and now it's not there, what happened to that life? How it became extinct? So these are all some interesting studies what scientists want to do, because the same kind of thing should not happen to Earth also. The life in Earth also should become extinct tomorrow because of some reasons and other things. Okay, so what is that how to sustain that life in Earth and not to repeat what has happened in Mars, if at all has happened. Okay. Otherwise, if you believe that if life is there now also, we have to see whether life is there not also now also. That also one way. After going there only, you can find out exactly whether life is there. Nobody landed in Moon. Only people have gone to orbit around the Moon so far. Sorry, it's Mars. So We have to land in Mars and see exactly in life is there, water is there, air is there, all these things, whatever essential resources are required for life to sustain there is available, atmosphere or anything. All these things are fascinating things. Once you go there, only understand. First step is to go there and see whether anything is there, life is there. If life is not there, also, if life was there some time back, also we can prove by so many other things. And what happened to that life? So that should not happen to Earth again. So these are all interesting things. So interplanetary studies and other things. So these are all things which will really you will be able to learn and understand these things only once you reach there. So reaching there is ISRO's job.
Okay, sir. So now I have one question, sir. That right nowadays I was reading an article that I'm an ex-hotelier. I used to work with the hotels in the past. So we got to know that I think NASA or some other organization making a international space hotels in the space outside the atmosphere of Earth. So do you think this will be the future because people are believing in the space tourism right nowadays? So in future, do you think is it possible according to you?
That is left to your imagination, because once you are able to travel and come back, anything you can do there. Whatever business you want, you're doing there. It can become a moon, can become a intermittent station for refueling, for going to other planets and all. If you want to have some
Ji
kind of
sir.
fueling available. So what do you do there? Once you reach there and you're able to live there and come back safely, what you do there is left to your imagination, and that depends upon exactly what you want to develop there. So that and
Okay.
all, no, not the scientist job actually. Once you are, it's up
Yeah.
to you to, once you are reaching there safely and leaving there safely, you can do whatever you are doing in Earth there also tomorrow. So these are all your
So
imagination.
me. Okay. So I
So
mean
space,
to say, as a human, we can able to reach that level also if we have that much ability to do that as a human.
no, it all depends upon once you go there and find out exactly what is the kind of composition, what is the kind of atmosphere, what is the kind of life sustaining resources available. That all depends upon their answers. To get their answers,
Okay.
whether it is there or not, we have to go there first. Now what we
Okay,
are
sir.
doing is the first step. So one it is habitable or not habitable depends upon the outcome once you go there and see what is happening. So depending upon the outcome only, I can predict things what will happen tomorrow. Okay, that I can't
Yes,
predict
sir.
now.
Yes, sir. I understand, sir. So now I have a question about the privatization, sir, in India, in space thing. And it is a good, I mean to say, it's a good decision taken by the government. So what's your thought? Is privatization will help India to grow more in terms of new discoveries on rockets and any other discovery right now in space science?
I would like to say it's not called privatization. The word privatization I won't use here, because now we are allowing private entities also to work on space, which was a domain which was exclusively with the department and government, state-owned things. Now we are allowing them, opening out to them also. So that doesn't mean that ISRO, whatever we are doing, is getting privatized. So that is both are different
Okay.
actually. To really understand and analyze properly, both are different actually. But now we are allowing private players also to step in work in hand with ISRO, with the with the hand holding of ISRO. We are only hand holding them. Without us, they can't do anything. So any startup you take, our ISRO people are involved in that in many phases and many fashion. So in space, they are getting the technology and use of our equipments and our test facilities inside. All these things we are facilitating them to see that no multiple agencies are working in space. So without recruiting for ISRO, actually we can't recruit for ISRO and to make you have to pay salary. So much of things are required now. Private and all, no more number of people are engaged in space activities and space technology. See, it's not called privatization actually. It's kind of a more of inclusiveness from other people also to make more people work towards space and space economy. So that way, if you see what we have done, should really, if you can see what kind of dividends it is going to really pay, we have to wait and see, and maybe in 5 to 5 years from now, what we definitely will prove that what we have done is correct actually. Now itself, we can see 140, 150 startups are registered in space area. So this is a kind of a tremendous response for the kind of space reforms what is unleashed and the space policy what we declared. So this response itself is really stunning actually, and it is all with this help of ISRO only they are doing things. They are not doing alone. So ISRO is present
Okay.
everywhere. ISRO's activity
Okay,
has
sir.
really increased, if you say. Apart from doing our own work, we have to handhold them also and advise them also. So ISRO's activity really has become multifold in one way.
Okay,
You
sir.
see that they are also thriving with equal enthusiasm and happiness. We help them also so that they come up and they do hand in hand with ISRO. And more people are like, 1+1 is 3, not 2. With ISRO joint hand means
Mhm.
no. So that is the kind of synergy what we are generating.
That's a great news for our Indian fellows. So, sir, now I have one question, sir. People will talk about the brain drain nowadays in India. The brain drain means people who have knowledge, who have skills. They're leaving the idea of working outside the India. So, what's your thought and what's your advice you want to give to the youth and how they can use these things, sir? How they can prevent the brain drain in India?
Now, we need not worry about this so-called brain drain and all too much because today anywhere you are working, you can work for your country from anywhere. You can contribute to your country's growth in anywhere. The economy also, you can give foreign exchange and all you can send from there. So a portion of
Okay.
people who are going out need not be. We should not worry too much because a lot of talents are available right now in India. So
Okay.
as it was in the past, if you see brain drain, if you are talking about too much with seriousness in the past, I don't attribute to that kind of seriousness today for brain drain what is happening right now because a portion of people going now, but a good number of good chunk of talent is available in India now also. So we should not worry about that too much. But once they go out, also we can join and join hands them with them also and work with them also for India. All are possible nowadays because remote working, all are coming now. They can also work out from outside for go outside and work for India from there also. So all these things are possible. So today is and people are talking about dual citizenship of India now also because it has not been so far we are not being dual citizenship now. In near future, I think
Mhm.
some kind of discussion is on now. So once you give dual citizenship, I think they are citizens of India also. So all these things are possible tomorrow. Then you can't call them brain drain if they go out and having the citizenship of India also today holding citizenship of India. They can't call them they are citizens outside. So in the years to come, I think the outlook what will totally different. You can't call it brain drain actually. So you can say that they are migrating to outside, but no, in a way we can see that they are all Indians and working for India from abroad also, and they will get contribute to the total revenue generation of India. And apart from that, a good chunk of people are now staying back in India because whatever facilities and whatever educational facilities and other things, whatever are available outside now, today, if you see, India is not lacking behind in anything. You get everything here. So there are many people who have come back to India from foreign, to my knowledge, who are all my friends and relatives and other things. So if you say what attracted
Mhm.
them to come back to India is the kind of comfort zone what you're getting here now is equivalent to almost any other country can provide you outside also. So we are also growing.
Yes, sir.
The kind of atmosphere what you get in India, you can't get anywhere outside. The kind of diversity and the kind of things. So India is a peculiar country with a totally different demography and all. Those who are Indians, I don't think that they can go and survive in any other country very very happily. They may go for some kind of a some higher salaries or anything because of some pay and all. But I think if you want to really happy, you have to come back to India, I believe, because now these
Yes, sir.
kind of things are available in India. Now many are coming back. So in the years to come, I think more will choose to stick to India with the kind of facilities available here, the kind of opportunities available here in various sectors in science and technology and manufacturing, core manufacturing, IT field. So I think we are also slowly growing and we are retaining people. The kind of flow what was earlier happening is not right now. The proportion, I would say, the proportion of educated people. If you say educated people, colleges are more now. You take the proportion is less now who is flowing out.
True, sir. True, sir. Now as we talking about the college and all, so just want to check your point of view. What is the future of Indian colleges and institute in terms of space research and space science? So what's your thought on that, sir?
Space is an interdisciplinary field actually. Doesn't actually any engineer can contribute chemical, mechanical, electronics, electrical, IT, computer science, chemistry, physics, mathematics. All the kind of orbit calculation, everything is done by higher engineering mathematics division. So it's an interdisciplinary field. And space technology, if you say, there's no field now today available without space touching this field. Any field you take now, any commerce or anything, ticket booking, airline booking, online classes, or so Swiggy or so what, anything you say, everywhere space is involved now. Online class, whatever, no, whatever, telemedicine, teleeducation, everything, whatever you say, and TV, broadcasting,
Okay.
GPS, any field, if you take, space is involved now. So to have this kind of technology, you should be having satellites, you should be having launch vehicles, and another area where we have to develop is civil aviation aircraft. Actually, we are not building civil aviation aircraft; we are still importing from Boeing and airlines and other countries, paying
Hmm.
heavily. So all these areas are available as a potential areas for you to work and develop in India. A lot of challenges are available in India to work. A lot of colleges come up with aerospace and aeronautical engineering now. See, if you compare to past, there are only one or two colleges in South India who were giving aeronautical engineering those days.
Yes, sir.
IIT Madras or MIT, Madras Institute of Technology, MIT in South India. You had to go to Tamil Nadu for studying aerospace engineering. Now, in and around Bangalore, where I'm living itself, in Bangalore city itself, some 25 to 30 colleges are giving aerospace engineering. So
Oh,
the diversification and the kind of disciplines available are increasing. You can choose any discipline you want. Number of disciplines from the core. Earlier only electronics, electrical, mechanical, and civil and chemical were there. Now, if you see 30, 40 branches are available in UG level itself. You want to diversify now itself and go to specialization now it's possible. And you have got avenues also and job opportunities also available in every field what you take now. So I say that I will always say that you got more opportunities to learn by a number of colleges being more. Actually, there are people who are always talking about more number of colleges that bring down the quality of education, but I won't say so. It can be either way. See, quality of education, even if a number of colleges are less, also it can be less if the college is not good. So it all depends upon your
yes, sir.
real, whatever real intention. If you want to provide a high quality
Hmm.
education possible with large number of colleges also, less number of colleges also. So there are regulatory bodies coming up like AICT, NBA accreditation, NARF ranking. So many things are being done now. So for all these things put together, I think the quality of education got a minimum. There's a minimum standard for all colleges now. Really coming up with these kind of frameworks and regulatory frameworks coming up. So the syllabus, the Bloom's level, syllabus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 level. So the new education policy, experiential learning. Yeah, there's a transformation taking place right now in the colleges. Because I'm going to a college right now, I understand all these things because I'm teaching now. Because I want to be an academic, I'm
Okay.
teaching now. So all these things are. It's really fascinating to see the transformation taking place. I think the quality of education in India is rightly going up. Definitely, the future of Indian education institutions are going to be really good, and in
Okay,
years to
sir.
come, I think we will attract more and more students from outside also. I hope.
Oh, that's a great news, sir. That's a great news, sir. Now I have a last question of this session, sir. So, what piece of advice you want to give our youth as well as the parents right now, so that they can understand and use the same experience in their life in term when it comes to a grow in their life. So, what piece of advice you want to give to our audience?
Two things which I would like to say to the present day parents actually. Please give the freedom for the child, son or daughter, whoever it is, to choose which area they want to really pursue their career. A lot of avenues are available right now. You need not really bind them to go to engineering or doctor or to what which disciplines are such in the earlier past. A lot of avenues are available. Every avenue gives you a kind of opportunity if you excel in that field. So, and livelihood is easier now because the parents are slightly rich now compared to olden days. So you can afford to have some kind of a cushion is available for you to even to idle for 1 or 2 years to really get clutch into your real uh, job or real career. So these are all some risk factors are less now. Earlier, no, we had to get into a job because we are breadwinners for the family. Now that kind of situation is not there. You can afford to have 1 or 2 years gap in between to think and choose your line and all these things. You can entrepreneurship and also
Yes, sir.
nowadays more entrepreneurship is now available. More of startup
Yes, sir.
funding is available. A lot of this one relaxation and some other things are given for incentives are given for startups and all by government. So this is a good era actually for all youngsters. in my opinion. They are born in a very good era where you got more of avenues and more choices available. So you need not worry about their future at all. You give them some kind of a freedom to choose from what they really want to do and encourage them to pursue their dreams. That is one thing. Second thing is, don't be too much anxious about them, because every parent has been always been anxious about the children, what will be their future. If they idle for 1 or 2 months or something, then immediately they become anxious and start questioning them and all this and trying to put them into some kind of a slot available in their mind. So all these things are not required. Really give them a free hand to see that. And if they do a freelancing also, it is possible nowadays, because yeah, online now so many things are possible through online also, freelancing and many things. You need not get into a job now directly to an office or something going and all. A lot of avenues are available today. Don't worry about these things tomorrow. So what I suggest to the my advice to the parents is that, see that your child has got some good dream. Talk to them freely and find out exactly what they want to become, what they want, what is their passion, what is their interest. Allow them to pursue and find out exactly where that such kind of courses, such kind of things are available. If you can afford to put them little away from your home and all, for a particular course, a particular discipline, what is seeking or asking for, if you can afford to put, please put them. Don't restrict them that you should follow only what I say, what you know. Your knowledge is very limited, because now things are different. Avenues are totally different. Number, multiple avenues are available. So I would like to see that, ask them, talk to them very freely and very frankly, and find out exactly what they want to do, and allow them to pursue their dreams and their whatever ambitions they're having. There are courses available for each one suiting to them. The courses are interdisciplinary nowadays. You can choose one discipline, another discipline also parallelly. Both you can pursue. If you want to, if you foreign all earlier, no, if you want to go for baking and bakery also, and mechanical engineering also, both are possible. Today, the new education policy allows you to have credits from various disciplines and put them together and have a degree differently. You can go APJ banking. No, your got credit banking systems are available now. You can earn outside the college also and earn credit and marks and put them in your credit bank and claim them when you go for a job. So these things, first of all, these things should be made. The knowledge of these things are available to be made known to the parents, because more awareness is more important thing actually. The awareness of all these are available, what all avenues are available. The parents should be counseled to see that they are more aware of what are the avenues available. Then only they can also coach and teach their children accordingly. So the making awareness programs for parents for good parenting also is a parallel activity we need to embark upon.
Yes, sir, you are right on this point, sir. So thank you so much, sir, for giving your time and sharing your thoughts. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. So I wish the viewers all the best, and would like to see that each one of you who are listening to this podcast or videocast will excel in their career and pursue their ambitions and contribute to nation building in a big way. Jai Hind.
Jain, sir. Jain, sir.
I hope you watched the full video and you liked the video, and I believe today you have learned something new. And if you do, so please like this video, because this video belongs to you only, guys. So please like your video, like your show, The Origin Show, and remember, we need to increase the Origin Show army in all over the globe. And I'm going to get more interesting videos in Hindi as well as in English also. So please share this video, and if you have any questions you want to be answered, please send me a mail. I've given my mail ID in the description box. From there you can connect with me and share your questions, or you can also ask a question from comment box. I'll try to get you answer in a very simple way. Till then, stay tuned, stay healthy. We'll be come back with more interesting videos on your channel Epic Life S.R.A.